Who's here?
What's up, everybody? This is Mr. Wisely. I'm making a YouTube channel from here in San Francisco, California. And, once again, I'm encouraging the people of the world, don't talk about it, be about it. Now, one thing that I want to talk about in layman's terms is, responding to these questions. So, number one, do you live the life that you love to live? Are you, the person that you would love to be in your mind? Are you that person in reality? Do you experience that life? If not, I want to give you some advice. That's what this whole YouTube video tonight is about. So, what made me want to make this YouTube video is recently I watched that movie Us with Jordan Peele. Jordan Peele directed it, and it's interesting because in that movie, if you get a chance to watch it, the villain in that movie is the same exact person, as the protagonist. So essentially what that means is the evil villain had the same talents and abilities as the good person in the movie. But what's so funny is the good person in the movie was constantly running, and afraid of the evil person. Now, another way you could think of that is like, flip the script, so the character, that those good people were, that society molded them into, was to be afraid and not, tap into the side of them that could be powerful, and instill fear into others. And they were essentially afraid of themselves because they was running from these copies of themselves. So, it's sort of an interesting thing to think about, because if you're not happy with the way your life's going, or you're not happy with the person you are, why not become someone else? Don't be that person and try to do different things. Become someone else. Now, how is that possible? I mean, sounds kind of strange, but who are you now? Who are you now? You believe certain things about yourself, but how do you know that's true? How do you know that's true? So knowing and believing are two different things. If you believe something, it's because you don't know. No one knows, maybe. So who's to say if you start believing you're somebody else, or just saying you're somebody else, you're not that. Nobody can tell you that you're not, if that's who you say you are. And take a look, and I'll give you proof of it. Is if you take a look at certain people who came from nothing and now there's something. Perfect example, Jay Prince, Houston, Texas. I never met the man, don't know much about him, but at some point he decided to say, I'm gonna be a certain person and life's gonna go the direction I want it to go. Because he became a person where their words meant something. That was the first thing. Even before he decided he wanted to have a record label or a car dealership or any of that. He became that person. And I would love to read his book, Respect. I'm not really a book reading type, but so, if you look at now that might seem kind of strange, or like, you know, some kind of weird psychological trick or something like that, but ask yourself this question: does the world work the way that it works, or does it work the way you want it to work? No matter what you believe, the world is going to work the way that it works, whether you're here or not, whether you want it to or not. It's going to work like that. Now, you know, if you could say the world is like a stage. Like Shakespeare said it once: the world is a stage and we're all actors. Well, what character do you play? If you're not happy playing that character, then you need to become a different character. You are the character you are now because you chose that role. Now, why did you choose that role? Well, you know, there's somebody who plays the role of a director that tries to influence you to play the role you're playing. And why is that person the director? Because they became the director. They understand, you know, what I'm saying. And they said, well, I don't want to be, you know, I want to be the lead actor. I want to be the director. I want to be the mover and the shaker. I want to be the head, not the tail. And they became it, you know. And don't get it twisted, you know. The people who are the movers and the shakers, they do not want, you know, you to believe this. They don't want to let you know this secret. But, you know, people with power, people with influence, they want to keep it. And how do they keep it? You know, they keep it because they hoard it. And knowledge is power. So they don't want this type of information. You know, they don't want you believing this. And if you listen to me and you say to yourself, well, I don't believe that's true, that sounds evil, that sounds this, that sounds that, I would make the argument that that's the response that they want you to say. That's been programmed. You've been programmed like a machine to say that. You know, you've been programmed to live in a little box, you know, and it's like Morpheus says in The Matrix, you know, you're living in a prison with no bars, no walls, a prison for your mind. And that's essentially what it is. The prison for your mind. The prison that says, you know, you have to be this person. You know, we'll only accept you if you are this person. Don't say that because it's going to be rude. Who says that? That's so strange. Who would say that? Well, you know, yeah, not many people would say that. But guess what? Not very many people are happy either. Not very many people are successful. So the mere fact that there's not many people doing it, that don't mean a damn thing. That's bullshit. You know? The fact of the matter is, you know, the people who are really successful, the Tom Brady's of the NFL and people like that, you know, what makes him different? Well, the biggest area is just in the way that his mind works, the way that he sees himself. Because when Bill Belichick tells somebody like that, you throw like shit, you know, if he had a lesser mind, that would break him down. But Tom Brady, you know, no matter what anybody says, he's going to believe certain things about himself. Which is why a guy like Coach Belichick, you know, could talk trash to him and it makes him better. It don't cause him to, you know, fall back. It causes him to push forward. And life brings the best out of them, you know? So that's what I'm saying. And when you're getting older and all these things, all those pressures, see, you can use those to your advantage. You know? Some people see challenge and other people see that same situation as opportunity. You know? some people thrive in situations like that. So they say you work well under pressure. Well, you know, some people, they enjoy, you know, the game of it. The game of it. You know, they feel like, you know, success is something that's, you know, abundant. And if they happen to fail at any particular exercise, you know, it's not the end of the world. They have an abundant mentality, you know, and so, you know, that's kind of my advice tonight, man. For real, that's like, if you want different things out of life, you got to become a different person first. You know, and if you study, you know, if you study any smart person and you can kind of read between the lines, that's kind of going to be the message that they're going to tell you, man. You know, so with that, don't talk about it, be about it. This is Mr. YZ. Peace.